Dear students, welcome to our channel Anu Computer Education. So most of the students are requesting RDBMS important question. In this video, we are going to discuss the very important questions in RDBMS Bcom second year third semester. And once you learn this question, I can give you assurance that you can score outstanding marks in your final exam. So these are the very important questions. And in future, I'll be making a one quick revision video, so that once you watch that video, I can give you assurance that you can able to write the answer very easily. So once you subscribe our channel, you will get a notification if I upload any new video, so immediately, so that you can watch that video. And these are the very important question. What is the advantage of DBMS over file system, and what is key, and what are the different types of keys are there, primary key, foreign key, all this you have to write. So what are the advantages of file system, the advantages of DBMS, security, backup, and there is no data always in the consistent, there is no redundancy. So these are all are very important advantages of DBMS. Next, what is DBA? DBA is nothing but a database administrator who can manage the complete data. So he will give the permission to the user, he will take the permission from the user, and he will take the backup and recovery, and he will make changes of hardware, software if needed. So all these are the functions and responsibility of the DBA. And entity referential model. So entity, any entity is nothing but it is a real world object. So every entity is having the properties are there. So example, student is an entity because every student is having roll number, name, marks, age, gender, date of birth, phone number. These are all are called the properties of the student. So how to represent the entity. Entity can be represented with the rectangle, and the properties can be represented with the oval shape. So we have different types of entities are there, weak entity, strong entity, and different types of attributes are also there. Multi-valued attribute, single value attribute. So different attributes are also there. Next, difference between the DBMS and RDBMS, and the levels of abstraction are 3-level architecture. See, both are same. So these are very important questions in the unit 1. So when it comes to the unit 2, two very important questions are there. What is the meaning of file organization? And please listen carefully what are the instructions which I am giving in this video. So you have to be focused. So here, file organization and types means you have to write the definition of the file organization followed by all the different types of file organization. What are the different types of file organizations are there? Sequential file organization, heap file organization, and next one is hash file organization. So all these file organization, index file organization. So all these file organization definition parts you have to write. So and don't go for the in-depth of the concept, because just you have to write the definition part of all these topics. And sometimes what will happen, he may ask what is the meaning of sequential file organization. So that time you have to explain about the sequential file organization, and sequential file organization advantages and disadvantages you have to write. So what is normalization? The process of eliminating the data redundancy from the table is known as normalization. So different types of normal forms. First normal form is there, second normal form is there, third normal form is there, and BCNF is there. So all these normal form definition parts you have to cover, and the tables are not required, only the outlines of the tables are very important. So sometimes he may ask what is second normal form, explain with example. So just that time you have to go for the in-depth of the second normal form. So this clarity, so in this way you have to learn the answers from the unit 2. So when it comes to the unit 3, the compulsory question, DDL DML question compulsory you can expect in your final exam. So DDL commands, create, alter, drop, rename, truncate. And what are the DML commands? Select, insert, update, delete. And these two questions compulsory you can get. And TCL and DCL commands you can expect in for 2 marks questions. Okay. So what is TCL? Transaction control language. You will be having the commit and rollback save point concept. What is the meaning of DCL? Giving the permissions, grant and revoke, giving the permissions and taking the permission from the user. So this is an important thing. Next very important question is joins. So why we are using join? You can combine 2 or more table results into a single table is known as join. So we have different types of joins are there: natural join, equi join, left join, right join, full join. So we have Cartesian join. So we have different joins are there. So every join will do different operation. So this is the answer you have to write. So in recently sometimes so unexpected questions are also appeared in the exam. So that is because what is the meaning of data type? So this is a question which is appeared in the final exam in the last year or before last year question paper. You see what is the meaning of data type. So data type is nothing but, so whenever we create any table, in every table certain columns are there, in which column what type of data has to be entered. So we have to make use of the data type. Suppose if I am creating a rule number column, so rule number is nothing but number, so we are going to write number, or integer we are going to write. So when you are going to for the name column, you may use varchar or varchar2 or char, yes or no. So similarly when you are going for the date of birth, you are going to use date. So these are all are the different data types which are available in the SQL. So this you have to explain. And what is an operator? So this is also one unexpected question which is appeared in the final exam. So means you have used these all concepts in when writing the SQL queries, but you are not having the clarity what is the meaning of operator. So operators are nothing but, suppose I want to find the one student information whose marks are more than 60. Suppose I have one student table is there. So how to write? Select star from student where marks greater than 70. So what I used here? Greater than. What is the meaning of greater than? Greater than is nothing but the operator. Okay, like less than operator, greater than operator, between, in, not in. So these are the different types of operators which are available in the SQL. So all these operator, and, or, these are all are different operators are there. So all these operators we have already used in the practical lab record, but this question is nothing but the operators. Okay, so when it is comes to the next question is, what is the security and authorization, database backup and recovery. So it is very important questions. And what is lock? And two types of locks are shared lock and exclusive lock, and 2PL, two phase locking. So strict 2PL and rigorous 2PL. So all these you have to explain. So next one is what is the meaning of deadlock? So two transactions we are running at same time. One transaction is waiting for the resource which is held by the other transaction. The other transaction is also holding the resource which the first transaction need. So this situation is called as deadlock. So that how to avoid and how to prevent the deadlock, so that you have to explain. So prevention, deadlock avoidance, and deadlock detection. So these are the three topics you have to learn when you are going for the deadlock. Okay, so what is the database errors and backup and recovery? So this is almost your first question only. So once you go for the concept of what is the meaning of replication, so you can expect these questions in short answers. And what is the meaning of replication? Repeating the same data in multiple copies is known as replication. There will be partial replication is there, fully replication is there, so that you have to write. So next, what is the meaning of fragmentation? Breaking the table into multiple number of pieces, either in rows or columns or mixed fragmentation, row fragmentation, column fragmentation. So all these you have to explain. So what is the meaning of distributed database management system, and advantages and disadvantages of distributed operating system? This is one of the very important question in your final exam. So when it comes to the last question of unit 5 is client server computing or client server architecture, both are same. So this is one of the very important and expected question in your final exam. So when it comes to the short answers, the first short answer is, what is the meaning of nested query? A query within a query is known as nested query. And what is the meaning of view, and how to create view, and what are the operation we can perform on the view? So this is one of the very important question you need to understand. So what is a very important question is, what are the different clauses are there? Group by clause, order by clause, and where clause, from clause. So these are the 4 clauses you have to write it. Okay, so when you are going for the transaction, what is the meaning of transaction? And important question, what are the transaction properties? As if properties you have to write: atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So these are all are very important. So what is an attribute? Different types of attribute: composite attribute, multivalent attribute, derived attribute. Okay, so all these you have to write. So data redundancy, repeating the same data at multiple copies is known as data redundancy. And data redundancy and entity integrity rule. And what is SQL? It is important question. And sequencing and indexing, and what is DBMS, and what is RDBMS, and what are so what is the meaning of data type, database? So these are all are very important questions. మీకు ఏ క్వశ్చన్స్ డౌట్ ఉన్నా వాట్సాప్లో కామెంట్, యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్లో కామెంట్లో పోస్ట్ చేయండి. దానికి సంబంధించిన వీడియో అనేది క్రియేట్ చేసి మీకు అప్లోడ్ చేయడం అనేది జరుగుతుంది.